Hey, what's up, America? This is your host, the Truth Buster. I want to thank you for tuning in for another edition of Truth Buster News. Today is May 8th, 2017. And this is the briefing that I'm bringing to you today. You know, we've heard over the campaign of Donald Trump for the past year and a half, or near 2 years, so how long it took him to get in. All the campaign promises he said he would fulfill, from every spectrum of the board he could think of. And a lot he's fallen short on. And he's got a couple accomplished, maybe one or two. I mean, that's cool beans. I mean, the healthcare thing is passed. But that's not all it's cracked up to be. And a lot of people have done the digging on that and really put the dots together, considering what is in the healthcare bill he put together, him and his administration put together. And so the others have came out in the truth community and dropped the light on that, and I'll leave that one alone. But one thing I want to cover is that something he stayed on top of when he was running against Hillary Rotten scumbag murdering Klan member Clinton. And that is how he was profusely and adamantly going to prosecute against her. He's going to put a special team together to prosecute and put her behind bars. And all the things he said in relation to that. Well, that hasn't happened. And at this point, it's not. He's become sucked in by the deep state. He is captured by them. They got him by the balls. And he ain't got him no more. But considering the topic of that I just mentioned, of how he was going to profusely go after Hillary Clinton, given the fact he's failed to do so. I seen an article just a few minutes ago on blacklistennews.com. And it was titled, Trump State Department Fights to Keep Clinton Benghazi Emails Secret. And they linked to the New American, and they linked to the release by Judicial Watch. Candidate Donald Trump said of Hillary Clinton's email scandal, this corruption and collusion is just one more reason why I will ask my Attorney General to appoint a special prosecutor. He later upped the ante with the declaration she has to go to jail. Now it appears that the Trump State Department is working to keep the email secret. On May 5th, Judicial Watch released a press release announcing that the U.S. District Judge Amy Berman Jackson ordered that the U.S. Department of State to turn over to the watchdog organization 8 identical paragraphs of previously redacted material and 2 separate September 13th, 2012 Hillary Clinton emails. I apologize for that. Regarding phone calls made by President Barack Obama to Egyptian and Libyan leaders immediately following the terrorist attack on the U.S. mission in Benghazi. Both emails had the subject line, Quick Summary of POTUS. Calls to presidents of Libya and Egypt were among the emails stored on Clinton's unofficial email server. Immediately, the State Department asked Judge Jackson to reconsider her order, claiming that due to an internal mistake, the office had failed to label the emails classified. If so labeled, Clinton emails will be exempt from production under FOIA Exemption B1. Responding to the state's request, Judicial Watch filed documents averring that the Trump administration's failure was not a mistake, but rather a deliberate attempt by officials at the State Department to shield Hillary Clinton and themselves by avoiding identifying emails on Clinton's unofficial non-secure email server as classified. In other words, the emails were originally said to be unclassified, so then Secretary Clinton will not be guilty of having classified material on her private server. But now that people want to see the emails, they are said to be classified, and were only mistakenly labeled as unclassified. According to the press release, Judicial Watch's filing cites an interview of an FBI employee who told federal investigators that top State Department official Patrick Kennedy pressured the FBI to keep Clinton's emails unclassified. The employees told the FBI he believes State had an agenda, which involves minimizing the classified nature of the Clinton emails in order to protect State interests and those of Clinton. The group's filing also cites an interview of a State Department employee who told the FBI that the State Department's Office of Legal Counsel interfered with the FOIA processing of an email from Secretary Clinton's server, instructing reviewers to use example B5, deliberative processes exemption, instead of B1, classified information exemption, according to the FBI interview. State's Near East Affairs Bureau upgraded several of Clinton's emails to classified level with a B1 release exemption, redacted, along with redacted attorney Office of Legal Counsel called State's Near East Affairs Bureau and told them they could use the B5 exemption on an upgraded email to protect it instead of the B1 exemption. However, the use of the B5 exemption, which is usually used for executive privilege-related information, i.e. the president and the higher-ups, was incorrect, as the information actually was classified and related to national security, which would be a B1 exemption. Let's see, I'm sorry. Judicial Watch continues. Judge Jackson reviewed the documents directly and rejected the government's contention in the records that had been properly withheld under the FOA B5 deliberative process exemption. Judge Jackson ruled the two records, even if just barely predecessional, are not deliberative. The State Department has pointed to very little support its characterization of these two records as deliberative, and the court's in-camera review of the documents reveals that they did not fall within that category. The full emails may reveal what former Secretary of State Clinton and President Obama knew about the September 11, 2012 attack on the Benghazi mission. Additionally, Judicial Watch makes the case that the Trump State Department is purposefully sabotaging the group's effort to hold Hillary accountable, something that Trump repeatedly promised to do on the campaign's trail. Judicial Watch argues that fact. An agency is deliberately withholding an FOIA claim is either to gain a tactical advantage or, as appears to be the case here, to protect the agency's interests and those of its former head. It is a motive undoubtedly inconsistent with the FOIA's board remedial purpose. At Council denying the government's request, the emails in question were sent to the top administration officials, including Clinton, Deputy Secretary of State William Burns, Under Secretary of State Wendy Sherman, Clinton Deputy Chief of Staff Jacob Sullivan, Special Assistant Robert Russell, and Deputy NSA Advisor Dennis McDonough, mentioning that the apparent increase in the influence of the so-called deep state on the Trump administration. Judicial Watch President Tom Felton asked, does President Trump know that his state and Justice Departments are still trying to provide cover for Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama? Fenton continued, an extraordinary court ruling could result in key answers about the Benghazi outrage is being opposed by the Trump administration. This won't be an example of the deep state trying to get away with the cover-up. If so, then the Trump administration needs to put a stop to it. Mike Lovrigin, author of The Deep State, The Fall of the Constitution and the Rise of Federal Government, defines the deep state as the powers that be that they believe actually run the country, regardless of electoral results. The wise man, the power elite. With this apparent legal maneuvering to keep Hillary Clinton from being held accountable for her betrayal of the Americans who perished at the Benghazi attack. One wonders if the deep state has pulled even President Trump into their oligarchical orbit. Well, that's undoubtedly true. Given the outcomes of the actions that he has produced thus far, his fruits, if you will. Let's say, don't judge a man by the skin of the color of their skin, which is what you're not supposed to do. You judge them by their fruits, what they produce. Right? So, if we have witnessed these things develop time and time over the last few weeks, leading up to months, it's clearly evident that he has been sucking into the deep state. And you got that bastard ass piece of shit, Jared Kushner, right along his side, and his daughter, who's friends with Hillary Clinton. And Chelsea. That should speak volumes there. Hello? Daughter is friends with the Clintons. So since that's out there and people have read up and seen the videos, I'm sure, with the article I just read right here, should lean toward the possibility that eventually will turn to a fact that yes, he is covering for the Clintons. He clearly ain't draining the swamp like he said he would. The ones that wanted to drain the swamp, Bannon, Flynn, they're gone. And the swamp gatekeeper are still there. Jared is protecting the swamp, if you look at it in a different perspective. Because no one's been fired since he's gotten in. None of the old oligarchs, a.k.a. representatives, Congress, Senate, they're still there. Let your mind wander on that one. So I found that very shocking right here. I'm not saying that I'm not surprised anymore. No, I'm not. Shocked? Yeah. But I'm not surprised. Given the continued, I'm going to go after her. I'm going to go after her. Like Jerry Maguire says, which is something we should firmly believe in. Show me the money. Yes, I am taking a quote from a movie. But it's kind of clear. It's kind of clear. Show me the money. Show me the proof. See what I'm saying? Show me something. That's all I have. I want to thank you for tuning in. Continue to be prepared for whatever shit's going to come up next. We don't know. War could still break it at any moment. God bless. Prepare. Take care of your families. Survive another day.